What's up, everybody? NJ Sweat's back. We took a week off last week, but we made sure we came back to you for UFC 252.
Yeah, we needed that break. That was it's not that we took a break from betting. We just took a break from
Posting.
deep diving into these cards.
Yeah,
Good
so
refresher.
we look to kill it this weekend, don't we, Joey?
Oh yeah, oh yeah, and it's a good card to come back to. You know, the public's gonna be watching. You know, the squares are gonna be betting.
Yeah, I
This
mean,
is going
I
to be
wonder who the public is on in that Cormier Stipe main event trilogy.
I'm curious to see that as well.
I think it's going to lean Cormier, but I really think it's going to be split.
Yeah, I'm looking more towards the main card, seeing see if anyone's gonna be on these the undercard, because you know there's gonna be money flying in on that main card. But
Oh, yeah, definitely,
it's
especially
flock too.
public favorite O'Malley.
I don't know. We'll see.
Well, we might mention that later in the video, but as you guys know, you watched us before. We're both going to give you 3 picks, parlay, and an underdog. Joey, do the honors and start us off.
All right. Start us off with I'm heading right to the main card. I believe it's on the main card. No, it's on the undercard. Either way, I'm starting us off with Lavinia Souza. I'm taking her over Ashley Yoder. The reason I'm taking Lavinia here is because she's just a dog. Certain fighters got these fight styles where they come in and they try to hurt you. And she's one of them. Like, she throws every punch with bad intentions. She's not here to outpoint you. She's there to finish you. And I was watching her this week, and she's from Brazil, nicknamed the Brazilian Gangsta. How could you not love that? But I'm like, who does she fight like? She has this weird, she's constantly moving, constantly slipping. She's pawing with her hands. I'm like, who does she fight like? I'm like, it's not Jose Aldo. It's not Anderson Silva. It's she kind of reminds me of Vitor Belfort, just female and a lot smaller and not on TRT. And she is coming off a loss to Brianna Van Buren, who is actually the real deal. There's no shame in that loss. Brianna looked great in that fight. But before that, 2 canceled bouts with Cynthia Calvillo and Carla Esparza. So that just shows what the UFC thinks of her, to give her those 2 fighters, because they're obviously both ranked, both contenders. Both Carla fought once title holder. But the thing that really stood out to me was that Sarah Frota fight. And the reason that Sarah Frota fight sticks out to me in this fight against Ashley Yoder is because Sarah Frota and Ashley Yoder kind of have similar builds. Both long, both use their range, both strikers. So, and the thing I was looking for was can Lavinia close the distance? Can she take her down? And she looked great. She's able to take her down. She's able to close the distance, hit her with some hard shots, ended up winning the fight by decision. I think about that Sarah Frota fight. Sarah Frota throws way harder than Ashley Yoder. She's got more fight in her. She's another fighter who comes to hurt you. Ashley Yoder's more of a point fighter. And she's just, I don't know. To me, Ashley Yoder just isn't that good. I don't think.
Yeah. So the thing with Ashley Yoder, you said she's a points fighter. Actually, her last 6 fights went to decision.
Yeah, that's all you need to know. Lavinia comes to kill you, and Ashley is just gonna try and take it to the decision. I think that's really gonna. I'm curious to see how Ashley responds to Lavinia's pressure, and I'm curious to see how she responds when she gets hit with a hard shot from Lavinia. Yeah, I just think Lavinia is a better overall, and it's just kind of besides the measurements and the length and whatnot, height, reach. I think that Lavinia is just a better overall fighter. She's coming from Brazil. Ashley Yoder's from California. Brazil, tougher. California's laid back. Better striking. I think she's better on the ground. I don't see where Ashley Yoder wins this fight. And honestly, that's why I love minus 160 here. I think the line should be bigger for Lavinia. It's actually moving the other way too, which shocks me. But I'll eat that juice all day. Minus 160.
Yeah, I mean, one of the reasons why I might be moving the other way, I don't know. She's coming off an injury, her back injury, her last fight, so maybe people are a little worried about that.
That could be true. I didn't know about that, but
Yeah, this is her first fight since December. But thing about Leniva that you mentioned, she's out of her 15 career fights, 8 by submission and 2 by knockout. So, I
she's
mean,
finisher.
yeah, you definitely have to pick the finisher here. Even if it goes to decisions, you might have more points, and that's not even a big line to play. So, minus 165, right?
Yeah. Like 160, 165. Take that all day.
All right.
What do you got?
So for my first pick, I'm going with John Dodson, Morav Valfi by decision.
Mm-hmm.
It's minus. I mean, it's a pretty big line. It's minus 265. I mean, John Dodson, he hasn't won consecutive fights. He got a really late round knockout versus was it Nathaniel Wood? He actually like knocked him out TKO with like 16 seconds left or nothing. His 3 fights prior to that were all by decision. I mean, Morav, they call him the machine. I mean, this guy he trains. Doesn't he train with Matt Serra and Automain Sterling?
All those New York boys.
Yeah, I mean, Morav's just a great wrestler. He had like 15 takedowns in his last fight.
He pushed it the last fight.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna like have the knockout power to knock out John Dodson either. That's why I like decision. But maybe just not. He's gonna hold him down most of the fight and not take that power from Dodson either. So his last 4 fights all been unanimous victories. The thing is, he hasn't versed. I mean, the skill level of his opponents haven't been the greatest. I mean, Dodson versed everybody in the division pretty much.
Yeah, he at one point he was a 125-pound challenger.
Demetrius Johnson, Pedro Munoz, Jimmy Rivera, Petroyan.
He's fought everyone.
This guy. He's just a veteran in the UFC, but he's 35 years old, hasn't won consecutive fights. I mean, do you really think he has anything left?
I think again.
Yeah, Morav opened at minus 190, and now it's like pushing 240.
Yeah. I think against a guy like Morav, I can't see him winning this fight either. But you have to go to decision.
Yeah, I mean, but okay. So to dissect my pick, do you see Morav? So we both think Morav's probably going to get this win. Do you think Morav? I haven't seen Morav really go for submissions lately in his fights. Do you think he like a TKO or submission?
No. I think
like position control and in the clinch takedowns and everything.
Yeah, I mean, now thinking about this fight, it's kind of got like boring fight kind of written all over it.
I'm like picking in my mind.
Yeah. Morav's going to shoot. He's probably going to take him down, probably control him. Dodson, being the vet he is, he'll probably be able to get up. He'll probably try and strike, considering that's what he does. But Morav is going to keep shooting that takedown, and I don't think there's going to be an opportunity for either of them to really finish here, because I don't think John Dodson is going to be able to get his hands going. I don't think that, I think he's the veteran enough that he won't get submitted either,
Yeah.
So I like that.
For your second pick?
My second pick, going to the third fight on the main card. or third fight from the last on the main card. I'm going Jairzinho Rosenstrike, Biggie Boy. We saw him get starched against Francis Ngannou. I think we both picked him. That was like one of our first videos.
Yeah.
We were pretty.
That was our underdog pick. So he was like plus
That's true.
200. He was like plus 200.
That is true.
Plus 200
Rightfully
in the last
so.
2 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah, he's going against Junior Dos Santos here, who doesn't pose nearly the threat that Francis Ngannou posed to him. You know, Junior Dos Santos is kind of in that phase of his career where it's just like every heavyweight isn't that isn't like Ngannou, DC, Stipe, or like Jairzinho, where it's like he's in that realm of like where Cain Velasquez was, where Alistair Overeem was, where it's just like he's just fighting. He doesn't care about the title. Like he maybe thinks he can still get the title, but he in his heart of hearts knows that he's not gonna get that title again. 2 losses, got destroyed by Ngannou, destroyed by Curtis Blades. He's fighting Jairzinho here. I just feel like the minute Jairzinho catches his chin, it's gonna be lights out. He might have some success boxing in the first round, but Biggie Boy, I mean, he's got revenge on his mind. He needs to get back on the winning track, and he's got that power to show it. He wants to fight Ngannou again, maybe. But yeah, I just don't see Junior Dos Santos being able to eat multiple shots from Jairzinho, especially if one drops him. So that's all it really needs to be said there. 36.
Yeah. So this fight, I mean, this is also my pick. This is also my second pick, just to let everybody know. But I mean, this fight could go either way. I'm obviously siding with you. I think Rosenstrike, besides that Nagano, he was finishing people. 10 of his last 11 fights were TK. He knocked people out, TKO finishes. And then Frankie Murder.
Frankie Murder.
He murdered him in 20 seconds, and Big Boy fell. But I mean, Dos Santos at this point of his career, he's way slower.
Yeah.
He's not Francis Ngannou. He's not gonna. I mean, maybe he does like a little Glover Teixeira action where he tires Big Boy out in like the third round and take down ground and pound. Big Boy getting tired. I mean, that's the only way. But I mean, I think Big Boy catches him. Junior Dos Santos has been through the ringer. He got knocked out pretty badly by Curtis Blades last round. He fought some big ass dudes in the heavyweight division. He also got knocked out by Francis Ngannou. So
yeah.
But if you look at the, I mean, Rosenstrike's, I guess he's like Curtis Blades, Derek Lewis, you saw last week. I mean, Dos Santos knocked out Derek Lewis. So, I mean, but Derek Lewis gets tired. You saw it last week. Boa Constrictor had him on the ground in the first round. But, I mean, I just hope Rosenstrike, keeps his cardio up and, catches him.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for too. And like Junior Dos Santos isn't the Boa Constrictor. He's a boxer. He's looking there. He's trying to come in. He's trying to throw hands. I think his last resort is to take you down and use some jiu-jitsu. And that's a thing that only Alexei Oleinik seems to understand these days, is that at least as a heavyweight, that you can take these guys down. But I don't think Junior Dos Santos, I think he's going to come in. He's going to try and throw some hands, try and catch Jairzinho. I think that age is going to catch up to him real quick. So
we talk about age. We've been talking about age, man. But Rosenstrike as a prospect that we think he is. He's 32.
Yeah, I feel like every fighter I look at, I'm like, oh, this guy's young and this guy's old, and it turns out they're both like the same age.
Yeah.
This really it comes down to like when they come on the scene, like how long they've been fighting for. Like,
he only has 11 fights. And only 5 in the UFC.
Right, compared to Junior Dos Santos, who's been around since I feel like I've been.
He has 21 in the UFC.
Yeah, 21 fights in the UFC.
Yeah.
Oh, holy shit! Yeah, out of 28 fights, 28 whole fights. That's he's taken some damage compared to Jorginho.
Yeah, definitely.
Hasn't. So that's so that's your second pick too?
Yeah, so I guess it's back to you since we both got big boy Rose and a strike.
Biggie boy, team Biggie boy. I'll keep it heavyweight over that 205 limit. Going to the main event. I'm picking DC in the main event. Go over Stipe. And, you know, I don't know where to start with this fight. I love Stipe. Stipe's like, he's a great boxer. He's got good wrestling, but he's not DC. DC seems like he's more motivated. To me, I don't know if anyone watched that last card last week. DC had a little segment where they let him talk about this upcoming fight and like what the future holds, and he just seems locked in. He's saying like he doesn't care what happens in training. He's like, for the last fight, it was just get to the fight, stay healthy, get to the fight. For this fight, this camp, he was saying, it's like I'm gonna work throughout the entire camp as hard as I can, and if I don't make it to the fight, I don't make it to the fight. And well, he made it to the fight, and that work is gonna pay off. He seems more locked in than Stipe. He pushed for this fight during the early days of COVID. He was like, "What's Stipe doing? What's Stipe doing? What's like where is he? Why is he not training?" Turns out Stipe's gym was closed. Stipe couldn't train. Stipe also had eye surgery. You don't want to fuck around with your eyes. But it feels like he got peer pressured into this fight. Like you had DC coming from his wing. There was like, I need the fight for this title. My time is running out. He had Ngannou who's waiting in the wings. He's like, what's going on with this division? He's like, I need the fight. Like I should be fighting for the title right now. So there's a lot of pressure on Stipe to take this fight. I feel like he doesn't want, like he wasn't ready for this fight. And he sounds kind of like lackluster. Even like in his promos, he's like, yeah, I'm going to knock him out. I'm going to come in there. I'm going to push the pace. Whereas like Cormier seems like he's more ready for this fight than Stipe. And I think the fact that he kind of got pressured into this fight doesn't bode well for him. So minus like 110, I think it's like even right now, minus 110, minus 115. I think if you have to lean anywhere, it's going to be DC. I think like he wants to ride out into the sunset. Like I think this is perfect for him. He knows what Stipe is going to try to do. They fought twice. He says his cardio is great. Worked his ass off in camp. It's just everything for me points to Daniel Cormier here. Even though I'm a fan of Stipe, I just can't see him winning.
Yeah, I mean, this is Cormier's last fight. Both exchanging knockout finishes. You just mentioned the minus 110. That's a lot of books is pushing it to minus 120, minus 125 Cormier right now.
Yeah, super close.
Yeah, I mean, I could see Cormier winning and maybe Stipe in a mega fight to walk off in the sunset versus John Jones. Stipe really just doesn't need this fight, honestly, for his legacy. He already beat Cormier once. I think he's only, as you mentioned, I think he's only doing this to, satisfy the UFC and to satisfy Cormier.
Yeah, it feels like he's not fighting for himself. It feels like he's fighting for everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if I had just had eye surgery, I for sure do not want to get poked in an eye, especially when there was like notorious eye poking in the last fight. Like I don't know. I'd be pretty worried. So
yeah, I'm pretty sure Dana White just cut somebody. What was it? Santos in UFC 251. There's multiple stoppages in that fight. I think it was like Yoder and Bogatov or something.
Oh, who did he cut?
Bowman Bogatov, I think.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he deserved to get cut.
Yeah, there was multiple. I think it was 2 groin kicks and like an eye poke.
Yeah, and then he had that illegal knee to the head.
Yeah.
That was ugly. That was terrible. That's probably I remember that. That was one of the worst fights I've ever seen.
Yeah,
but we had Leonardo, and we won.
He barely survived out of all the illegal shit, but he prevailed.
We were sweating that one out.
Yeah, I'm just really excited for this Cormier Stipe fight.
Yeah, same.
There's probably going to be a finish. I think they're just going to put on a performance.
Yeah, And I mean, and you go back and DC looked great in those first 2 rounds, start to fade in the third round, end up getting knocked out in the fourth round.
That was kind of like classic Cormier. He did that a couple times versus John Jones. Started out really strong, and
That's
got
true. Yeah, yeah. That one fight, he looked great. He was just, when he just like stays in your face. Like he was winning that fight against John Jones, and then
yeah,
John caught him with that kick, right? And then
yeah.
he cried.
I had him in that fight and lost.
Yeah. Regardless, you got a third pick.
Yeah, so I mean, this is just a throw-in one. Why not Herbert Burns? You all know his brother. I think they're just feeding him like the guppies right now.
I agree.
Just racking up his wins. He's versing it, another 30-plus-year-old prospect, 33-year-old prospect, Danny Chavez, and Herbert Burns is minus 300.
Daniel Pineda.
Oh yeah. Wrong guy.
Finish.
Yeah, Daniel Pineda. So, he's 2 years older, 35-year-old prospect. This is his first UFC fight.
Well, not to cut you off, but Daniel Pineda has been everywhere. He was actually in the UFC like years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then
On this site I'm looking at, this is 0-0 though, making his debut.
I don't know.
But he does have 41 career fights.
Yeah, I think he was in the UFC, fought a couple times, got bounced, went to Bellator, fought a couple times, got bounced, went to World Series of Fighting, fought a couple times, left. And now I think he's back. And I think he is getting fed to Herbert here though.
Yeah, I mean, Herbert just been finishing everybody's submissions. He knocked out Nate Landwehr in January.
Yeah.
That guy's a good ass fighter.
Yeah, he looked great against Elkins.
I mean, minus 300 here. Why not just throw him in a parlay? I'm probably going to play him straight because I'm a retard. I just like him. That another submission. This guy's a submission artist.
Yeah.
What is Pineda going to do? He's a journeyman. He's the Ryan Fitzpatrick of MMA.
He really is. He's fought in every organization that you could possibly think of.
His last fight was in PFL playoffs.
Yeah.
Whatever.
LFA, Fury, CFFC. This guy, he's made his rounds.
I'm just gonna. So that was my last pick, but this is very unfortunate for you guys. But my parlay is basically just all three of my picks combined. I hate to do it, but if it's gonna win, it's gonna win. And if it's gonna win, I'm gonna give it to you guys.
Yeah.
Morav John Dodson. He has to go to the decision, minus 275. Big boy Jarino Rosenstrike, minus 143. Herbert Burns, minus 315, and that gives you a plus 207.
Okay. I like it. That seems solid to me.
How about you?
I am going. So I'm pretty much going down the same route as you. I'm putting Lavinia in there. I'm putting DC in there, and then I'm throwing your pick of Herbert Burns in there. That comes out to plus 298. Not the most like varietal of parlay picks from us, but winners are winners.
Mm-hmm. And we gave you a little hint earlier in the show, but now we're going to talk about it. It's our Underdog segment, and me and you, we talked about it. We were texting about it earlier in the week, and we're going with Cheeto Marlon Vera.
It makes me so happy to go with Cheeto here. You know,
he got scammed in his last fight.
He totally got scammed in his last fight. Actually ruined a perfect card for me. Fucking should have beat Song Yadong. I don't know what the judges were looking at. But listen, Sean O'Malley, I'm gonna jump right into it here. Sean O'Malley, minus 325 here. So this is a weird, I don't know if I like this comparison I'm about to make. But if you're looking at it from like his rise to the top, and you compare it to Connor's rise to the top, it was like Connor, they gave him a bunch of blokes. He stormed through them. And then they gave him up they upped his competition a little bit each fight. So like I think it was after Diego Brandao, they gave him Dennis Seaver, who's like on his way out. He's been fighting forever. He fought everyone, but he physically he had nothing to give to Conor. Conor ran through him. You can make that same comparison for Sean O'Malley versus Eddie Wineland. Sean O'Malley had nothing physically, no physical attributes to compare to Sean O'Malley. And he left his chin right. He fought hands down, left his chin right out there for O'Malley to hit. So after that Conor fight, after he starched Dennis Seaver, they give him Dennis Poirier. Marlon Vera's in a similar spot here. This is a guy who's ranked or what has been ranked before, who like everyone says he's a good fighter. If you watch him with your own eyes, he's a good fighter. And it's truly Sean O'Malley's first real test at bantamweight in the UFC. And I don't think it's going to be easy for Sean O'Malley. I don't think he's going to run through Chito Vera here. Because Chito Vera, so everyone Sean O'Malley's faced doesn't seem to have been as disciplined defensively as Chito Vera is. And disciplined defensively, I don't know if that's a good way to describe Chito Vera because he does get hit. But he has a really high guard. He keeps his hands up. And Sean O'Malley, he catches you right on the chin. He's super accurate. And I don't know if he's going to be able to catch Marlon Vera. So I expect, if you want to get crazy, Chito Vera by points would be probably plus 600, plus 700. But if Chito Vera can weather the storm, take some shots, keep his hands up, not get clipped, I kind of like him to take Sean O'Malley in deep waters here. See what Sean O'Malley's made of. See what he does under pressure. Because he's never really been under pressure. He's dominated every fight. See how his ground game is. I don't know if he's ever been challenged on the ground in a professional fight before. Chito Vera can do that. We saw him take down Song Yadong. There's a lot of unknowns.
That's what I want to see. O'Malley's ground game. I mean, he's just been so dominant in all his fights. He really has never been needed to go to the ground at all.
Has he ever been in trouble in any of his fights? I don't think so. I mean, he had that foot against Andre Sukumtop, but you remember that fight. That guy didn't even he had no idea where he was at. He didn't even know he broke his foot, even though he was hopping on one leg,
Yeah, Vera's definitely really scrappy. I just really hope Vera could just hope he just doesn't lead with his chin. I mean, that's where O'Malley shines if he hits you right on the chin.
Yeah.
He just needs to hold his position, work the clinch, takedowns. I mean, he's just gotta make O'Malley work. I mean, he just can't stand there like his other opponents and just take a clean strike. He's just dropping. Yeah. Nobody's taking the clean strike from O'Malley right now.
Yeah, and no one really can. He's got to make it a dogfight. He's got to get in his face, and that's what I mean. He really does shine when he makes it a dogfight. I think that high guard is going to be a problem for Sean O'Malley. We'll see how he does if he can pull the hands down and find them. But Chito Vera, he has no back. He's not going to back down, and I'm very curious. I think if Sean O'Malley knocks Chito out, he's for real.
Yeah, I'm definitely rocking with Chito here. Yeah. Watched a couple of his fights before. He's definitely scrappy. And if he doesn't get knocked out, he could definitely win a decision.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking plus 700 looking juicy. And you know all the squares are going to have Sean O'Malley in every parlay.
Yeah.
You look at the strength of this card, there's no names. You got the main fight who everyone wants to see. And people are going to watch it because it is a heavyweight title fight.
Yeah.
But then you got Jairzinho and Junior Dos Santos, Junior Dos Santos is a big name for sure, but Sean O'Malley's his up-and-coming prospect. Everyone wants to see this guy. So I think he may be a liability for the book come fight night.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. It's going to be tied to every parlay. And since he's the main event, it's probably going to be the last leg to many parlays.
That's true.
So besides all the straight action on him, it's going to be definitely a need. So
yeah,
both of us would Chito Marlon Vera, and it's not just our underdog pick. We really like this to win.
We'll be betting this.
Anything else, Joey? We had a solid video today.
I got nothing.
All right, guys. Good luck Saturday. NJ Sweats out.